Welcome class. In this session, we'll be discussing regarding the last concept of the photosynthesis in higher plants, that is factors affecting photosynthesis. So the factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis, it can be best explained through the Blackman's law of limiting factor. So this law states that when a process is conditioned as to its rapidity by number of separate factors, the rate of process is limited by the pace of the slowest factor. So that is called as Blackman's law of limiting factor. In simple, if a one particular process, metabolic process, it is affected or it is conditioned by the separate factors, number of separate factors. So if any one particular factor, if it is limiting, then the rate of reaction will be slowed down. Okay, so that is regarding the Blackman's law of limiting factor. And the one factor that is present in a less concentration, so that acts as a limiting factor for the entire process or the entire metabolic process. So that is regarding Blackman's law of limiting factor. So it is explained with reference to concentration of carbon dioxide. So the atmospheric carbon dioxide is just 0.3%, right? So it acts as one of the major limiting factor in case of photosynthesis. So if its concentration is decreased, then the rate of photosynthesis will slow down even though light as well as the water is available, right? So similarly, if carbon dioxide and light concentration are maximum but soil water is not available, so water is a source of hydrogen, so hence again the rate of reaction will be slowed down. So here, if the one particular process is conditioned by the more than one factor, so if any one factor is becoming limiting, then the rate of reaction will be slowed down or it will be decreased. Okay, so that is regarding the Blackman's law of limiting factor. So next we'll see certain external factors that are affecting the rate of photosynthesis. Among that, the first one is light. So the rate of photosynthesis is directly dependent on the light. Okay, that is because light is the major source of energy for the photosynthesis, and light reaction, it will be operating in the presence of sunlight only. And here the rate of photosynthesis, it is dependent on the three important properties of the light, such as quality of light, quantity, as well as duration of the light. So coming to quality of light, it refers to color and wavelength of the light. So we know that the action spectrum of photosynthesis will be ranging between 450 to 700 nanometer, and this forms the photosynthetically active radiation. So this 450 nanometer and 700 nanometer of the light, it forms the photosynthetically active radiation, that is the light radiation which can be used for the photosynthesis. Similarly, coming to the color of light, so blue light as well as red light, in these two regions, the rate of photosynthesis will be maximum. So that is how the quality of light will be interfering with the rate of photosynthesis. So if the light is rich with the blue and red light with 450 and 700 nanometer, then the rate of photosynthesis will be maximum. So if not, the rate of photosynthesis will decrease. And generally during the early morning, if we see, so in the dawn and dusk, if you see, the red light concentration will be more. And as we move to the mid-afternoon, so the amount of light will be, so amount of red light available, so it is going to decrease. So hence the rate of photosynthesis, so it will be increasing from the dawn till mid-noon, and further it will start to decrease because of the availability of the wavelength as well as the color of the light. And coming to the quality of light, it refers to intensity or brightness of the light. So as I said, starting from the early morning, so early morning, so the incident solar radiation, it will be having more amount of red light region, which is of 700 nanometer. So starting from early morning till the certain time period, let us say between 10 to 11 o'clock, okay, rate of photosynthesis, so 10 to 11 a.m., the rate of photosynthesis, it goes on increasing. Okay, so further increase in the light intensity, what happens? It results in photooxidation of chlorophyll molecules. So chlorophyll molecules will be destroyed or it will be damaged. so that photosynthesis doesn't occur beyond this time period. The rate of photosynthesis is going to start to decrease. So that is how the quantity, at what intensity or at what brightness the light is available. So that also determines the rate of photosynthesis. And next is the duration. It refers to number of hours of sunlight available per day. So for how many duration? So in the 24 hours day period, so for how many time period the sunlight is available. So that also determines the rate of photosynthesis. So that is regarding how the light will be affecting the rate of photosynthesis. And the next factor is temperature. So this temperature, it doesn't directly affect the light reaction of photosynthesis, but it is going to affect the dark reaction. And indirectly, it is going to affect the rate of photosynthesis also. So the effect of temperature is mostly on the enzymes that are involved in the dark reaction, because we know that each and every enzyme, they are having their own optimum pH. Below the optimum pH, the enzymes will be inactivated, and above the optimum pH, the enzymes will be denatured, right? So that is how the temperature affects the rate of photosynthesis. Mainly, it will be having its impact on the dark reaction because it is the enzyme catalyzed reaction. And the rate of photosynthesis known to be increased for up to 2.2 to 2.6 times when the temperature is raised up to 30 to 36 degrees Celsius, and further increase in the temperature. So it results in decrease in the rate of photosynthesis because denaturation of the enzymes takes place. So that is regarding the temperature. And next, coming to the carbon dioxide concentration. So it is again one of the limiting factor for the photosynthesis. So the rate of photosynthesis, it is going to increase up to certain point with increase in carbon dioxide concentration. So as I said, atmospheric concentration is 0.3%. So increase in the carbon dioxide concentration from 100 to 350 parts per million. Okay, so it is going to increase the rate of photosynthesis in case of C3 plants, whereas C4 plants, they can uptake the concentration of carbon dioxide up to 450 parts per million. Okay, so that is the carbon dioxide concentration. So from 0.3 to for up to 0.5%, if you increase the concentration of carbon dioxide, the rate of photosynthesis will increase. But if the concentration of carbon dioxide, it increases beyond 0.9%, so this carbon dioxide, it becomes toxic to the plant. So hence the rate of photosynthesis will be decreasing. So that is regarding the concentration of carbon dioxide. And next one is oxygen. So a very high concentration of oxygen rate, okay, so it also affects the photosynthesis, where the photosynthesis, rate of photosynthesis will start to decline at the very high concentration of oxygen. And this phenomenon is called as Warburg's effect, where instead of photosynthesis, photooxidation process will start, similar to that of your photorespiration. Photooxidation takes place where chlorophyll molecules will be destroyed, and this phenomenon is called as Warburg effect. And next is regarding the soil water. So soil water, it has a very less impact on the photosynthesis, rate of photosynthesis. But anyhow, so it acts as a source of hydrogen, which is necessary for reducing the carbon during the photosynthesis. So hence, lack of water also affects the rate of photosynthesis, but its impact on the rate of photosynthesis will be minimum. Whereas coming to the internal factors, so internal factors, it mainly includes the number of stomata and when the stomata will be open, whether it is during the daytime or the night times, and similarly the concentration of the chlorophyll pigment, leaf surface area. So all this will also affect the rate of photosynthesis. So these are the internal factors. So coming to number of stomata, if more the number of stomata, more amount of carbon dioxide can be fixed, so the rate of photosynthesis will be more. Similarly, concentration of the chlorophyll molecule. So if the leaves are enriched with the chlorophyll molecule, if more number of chloroplasts is there, obviously the rate of photosynthesis is going to increase. And coming to the leaf surface area, if it is broader, so much amount of light can be exposed to that of the leaf surface so that they can perform the photosynthesis efficiently. But the problem is here is, if the leaf surface are broader, then the rate of transpiration also may be more. So that is one thing. So that is how the internal factors are also going to affect the rate of photosynthesis. And that is regarding the neat synopsis for the chapter photosynthesis in case of higher plants.